And today I'm asking you to vote for some of those leaders, including some folks we need working with your outstanding governor, who you just heard from, Governor Josh Shapiro. We need them in Harrisburg. So we need you to vote for your next Auditor General, Malcolm Kenyatta. Your next Attorney General, Eugene DePasquale. Your next State Treasurer, Eric McClellan. And my buddy, your outstanding United States Senator, Bob Casey.
Dude, he's got, even Obama is like kind of lacking motion right now. It's a little bit shocking.
Now here in Pennsylvania, there are 3 ways to vote. You can vote early, in person, at the county election office, or at a satellite office. You can also vote by mail. And if you need to figure out how to do that, just go to iwillvote.com/PA to find a place to vote early or to request a ballot. And of course, you can vote at your polling place on Election Day, November 5th. If you're at this rally, let's face it, you're probably voting unless you are 12. Because together we have a chance to choose a new generation of leadership in this country and start building a better and stronger and fairer and more hopeful America. Now, you've already heard tonight, this election's going to be tight because there are a lot of Americans who are still struggling out there. They're still striving to make life better for themselves, for their families, and for their kids. And let's face it, as a country, we've been through a lot these last few years. I mean, I am the hopey changey guy. So I understand people feeling frustrated and feeling we can do better. What I cannot understand is why anybody would think that Donald Trump will shake things up in a way that is good for you, Pennsylvania. I don't understand that. The ranting and the raving about crazy conspiracy theories. You got the 2-hour speeches, word salad, just, it's like Fidel Castro, just on and on. Constant attempts to sell you stuff. Who does that? Selling you gold sneakers and a $100,000 watch and most recently a Trump Bible. He wants you to buy the Word of God, Donald Trump edition. Got his name right there next to Matthew and Luke. I mean, you could not make this stuff up. Do not boo. Vote.
Damn, bro. Dude, what the this man will be able to fucking motivate this entire crowd of people to go and fucking storm the Capitol, And there is definitely a vibes drop off, in my opinion. Like, this is desperado. Turns out having everyone of note be over the age of 60 has some consequences. Don't boo, vote. He's like, Trump doesn't care about you. Here come every single person that is surrounded by like 60-year-olds telling me, no, they actually love this shit. Okay, well, I'm not fucking 60. I'm not watching this shit. It sucks. All right. Where's AOC? That's another fucking interesting indication that like they are absolutely moving in that direction, where like AOC should be stumping too, at least in places where there's like young Hispanic voters, young voters in general. She is still relatively charismatic. Obama's message to black men voting for Trump. Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president and you're coming up with other alternatives and reasons for that. Oh no, that's so bad, dude. Oh, that's such a Hillary ass fucking take. Even if this is true, you should never say this. First and foremost, it's not a major fucking shift in terms of like black people voting for Donald Trump. Young black men, younger black voters potentially voting for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. It is a shift, however. And I'll tell you what that shift is. It's because the last time the Democratic Party did something for black people was so far removed from this generation of black voters that they fear they do not have that same party loyalty that older black voters do. It's that simple. The more you move away from the civil rights movement, the more black people are like, okay, well, what the fuck have we done? And it also corresponds to greater trends in terms of less educated male voters in particular. Okay. So black men that are non-college educated are still greatly underperforming in their support for the Republican Party over white men who are non-college educated. Okay. But if you're going to single out black men in general, because you have taken black votes for granted for far too long as the Democratic Party, that's the reason. That also proves my fucking point that I make all the time. What have you done for me lately is obviously the major motivator for why people choose not to vote for you. Black people that remember a time when the Democratic Party stood by them are going to forever vote for the Democratic Party. Black people that were so far removed from the last time that the Democrats did something for them are not going to want to vote for it. That's why you've seen a vote. That's why you've seen, at least in prior campaigns, the black vote getting smaller in particular, but not necessarily swinging in the direction of Donald Trump or the direction of the Republican Party. But that's the reason why there is this major generational divide. That's it. It's a perfectly understandable, perfectly reasonable position. It is at the heart of democracy. This is something that the Democratic Party has completely fucking forgot. And I say the Democratic Party has completely forgot this because I would never say this about the Republicans. The Republicans at least make up issues. They try to prime you into believing that there is like a genuine disparity. They try to fucking get you to vote for them for one reason or another. Democrats just point to the Republicans and go, if you don't vote for us, these guys are going to win and they're fucking assholes. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I got a problem with that, he said. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and reasons to do that. That's a really funny take. Because that take, you are addressing that take not to the men, not to the men in the margins. You're just saying that for the Netflix executives, dog. You're literally just talking to the MSNBC watchers when you say that. If you wanted to talk to men about this particular issue, you wouldn't fucking go, don't want to vote for a woman, sweetie. They're going to be like, yeah, I don't. Okay, what now? I hate that. I can't believe he would do the I'm with her scolding, vote scolding, which was objectively a failure in 2016. He said that the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. He said, when we get in trouble, the system isn't working for us. They're the ones out there marching and protesting. And now you're thinking about sitting out or supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. That's so stupid. That is such an idiotic way to stump. God, this campaign, man, what the fuck are they doing? Just every part of this is busted. North Carolina lost a mind-numbing 325,000 manufacturing jobs thanks to NAFTA and China WTO, largely in rural counties. The textile, clothing, and furniture industries all died. Now Harris is sending Bill Clinton, Mr. NAFTA, the rural North Carolina campaign for her. You can roll your eyes at Harris courting GOPers by campaigning with Liz Cheney, but tapping Clinton as a rural voter whisperer in the part of the country arguably worse hit by his free trade agenda is lunacy. I'm not that into overreacting that every little move the campaign makes to court a swing voter. Whatever, it's October of election year. You love Republicans now, them's the breaks. But this one shocks me and makes me think actually they have no idea what they're doing. I think that they do know what they're doing, but what they're doing is at odds with what you would expect a competent party to do. They're sending Clinton out there for like older Republican voters, business owners, things like that don't give a fuck about NAFTA, because they've already ridden out every single disaffected, disenfranchised white voter. They are just straight up. Look, their method is clear. If you watch what they're doing, if you watch their movements in this otherwise truncated campaign in such a short period of time, they have been laser focused on trying to win any fucking Republican vote, any suburban white vote that they possibly can that is not in any way, shape, or form related to labor. Like people that have generationally not been in the working class for extended periods of time. They're looking for Republicans. Okay, that's it. They are firmly committed. They're firmly committed to trying to get business owners on board. I think that's what it is. And this is probably a more successful method than fucking, bringing Liz Cheney or Dick Cheney up ever in that regard. It's all of the old leadership that you used to like when you were younger. They all like me, as opposed to the new leadership that you might feel some type of way about, Donald Trump. That's it.